first of all, spatial awareness should be taught in school, because I can't tell you how many times I'm just walking, somebody on a phone looking at it or talking on it, and they're just slowing me down. I'm like, look, if you're going to be talking, like, go to the side, okay? Come on, there's other people.
That's true. Well, I'm glad you agree.
Yes, I'm not a dancer, but I agree with spatial awareness.
Yeah, for sure.
Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two. This is episode number 372, as always, hosted by yours truly. Welcome, everybody. Why am I putting out a Monday episode, you're probably wondering. Times are weird right now, and I felt I had to do my due diligence and provide something for my fellow listeners. And that's why I decided to put out an episode today. We're all kind of in this mess together, and we can get out of this together. So I just felt like, I just felt like, what can I do? I can podcast, and I can release podcasts. So that's what I'm going to do. And, it doesn't hurt that I have an excellent guest for today. She is incredibly beautiful, a talented person, and just a real pleasure to chat with. Olivia Dudek is on the podcast, and I had a great time chatting with her. I think she's a wonderful person. And you know what? I'm excited for you all to listen. So everybody sit back, relax, and Olivia, take it away.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking.
Good. I'm curious. So
okay.
I'm a curious person, and I'm going to be, yeah. I hope it's okay if I ask you questions.
Well, I don't know. You can ask a couple.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
No, so how do you like to start out your days? Are you, preferably from after waking up from sleep?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Are you a exercise person? A brekkie, tea, coffee, any of that?
Yeah, I would definitely coffee. Coffee is a must. But yeah, I would say I wake up before I do anything else. Before I'm even looking at my phone, I try to, say a prayer, start the day off right, start with gratitude. Yeah, to be honest, I just start with the Lord's Prayer. It's short and sweet. It reminds you why you're here. Start with gratitude, center yourself. Going to be a great day, set your intentions, and then you can jump to social media and your texts and your emails and business and, all the rest.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that? Saying a prayer in the start of your day?
That's a good question. I mean, yeah, I feel like actually that's been kind of recent. I feel like I've tried to integrate meditation and prayer throughout my day or in the morning for a while now, but really saying that a prayer before I even open my eyes, that's a little more recent and very, very helpful.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And do you also do the meditation, or is that your form of meditation?
I don't meditate. I live in LA, but I eat all the meats and all the foods. I'm not that bohemian. I don't meditate, yoga. That's not really me.
Oh my gosh, where have you been my whole life? Oh my
I know.
Gosh.
And what's funny is I used to be a vegetarian. I was a pescatarian from when I was like a really little kid until for about 10 years. And it was actually when I came to LA that I stopped being a vegetarian. I found everyone. I mean, are you from Oregon?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm from a town called Bellingham
Yeah.
are you familiar? Yeah. Okay. So I feel like Bellingham and Portland are very similar and, just hippie liberal vibes, and everyone where I grew up was a vegan or vegetarian and very healthy. But I feel like they were very educated on animal rights and doing it for the right
Mm.
reasons. But I feel like when I moved to LA as a young adult, I mean, I was young, but I feel like when I came here, everyone was a vegan, but it was more of a trend and it really turned me
Right.
off. So I was like, I'm going to eat meat now. Okay. I'm going to do me. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember the first meat thing that you ate when you moved
I,
down there?
yeah, I definitely do. It was actually, it was chicken noodle soup.
There you go.
It was actually at my grandpa's wake and my grandma made it. So I'm like, I think this is a good, a good,
Y-
a good thing to eat for the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you don't want to insult anybody. Yeah, oh yeah, give me the chicken.
Give it to me.
That,
So, oh yeah.
See, I grew up in Salem,
Uh-huh.
and
Okay. Okay.
and it was the hippies were there, but sure they're a lot more in Portland.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
I never really got that, like, oh, you eat meat, you're the horrible person, or do you know where
Okay.
that comes from, and nothing like that. So
Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's even in areas like that, there are different types of people. I mean, it's not anything
right.
my parents even pressed upon me. They were very healthy, but I actually went to this like when I was really little, went to this very, do you know the religion Unitarian or Unitarian Universalist?
It sounds very familiar. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's the religion I was raised in.
Mm,
It's very environmental and it's a hippie
gotcha.
religion. Like there's this joke in The Simpsons, where they're like handing out ice cream and a kid gets an ice cream and it's just a cone with nothing in it. And people
Hmm.
are like, what's this ice cream? They're like, that's Unitarian. That's that Unitarian flavor. So I think you understand. So that's the religion I was raised. And, so just, I say that to say like, I don't know, it's very, very hippie, very open ended, very
Right.
liberal, very environmentally conscious, and yeah, a lot of veganism going on.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. There's
Nope.
nothing wrong with uh, being in tune with the planet and using
No.
but for sure, like uh, a hamburger.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that is
nothing wrong.
that's my go-to. That's my go-to. It's just a cheeseburger. I mean, in
Yeah.
terms of like food indulgences and stuff. I mean, I feel like it could be way worse, but I like fat burger. I like my In and Out. I mean, yeah, just a good cheeseburger.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go. And so when did you catch that acting bug or that need for performing?
Ooh, well, actually, those are two different things in my
Yeah.
book. So, which one do you want to hear first?
Let's go performing. Let's do
Okay.
performing first.
So that one was, I mean, very early on. I would say that was probably about 4 years old,
Mm,
when I started dance. And I have all sisters, so I feel like my mom did the thing that most moms do with their daughters, which is put them in dance and see if it sticks at an
correct.
early
Correct.
age. Yeah, but my sisters, it didn't really stick with them. They kind of stopped doing it around middle school, found other interests, just started trying different things. But with me, I was the youngest and the last one to try it. And I mean, I excelled from an early age. I just adored it. And I adored the older ballerinas and just fell in love with it. So even when I was in elementary school, I was
Mhm.
like pushing my mom to just be enrolled in every single class. And even with like at that young age, I had an extremely full schedule of a million dance classes and just
Mm.
was, yeah, obsessed with it.
And
So
do you still dance?
I I do, but more as a skill for
Yeah.
acting, if that makes
Yeah.
sense, which is an entirely different world than actually pursuing dance professionally, which I did before I started acting. So
Mhm.
they're two totally different worlds. So
Right.
I mean, I do, but not at the extent that I did. So I don't feel like I can even say it. I feel like a current or professional dancer will just, it will offend them. That's
Right. How dare you?
Exactly. So, I mean, I'm not a dancer in that level anymore. But
Okay. And when you were at that level, did you? And I'm just fascinated with people who dance, just
yeah, yeah.
because
Hey, me too.
you have to. It's like you have to be very disciplined with your body.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You said it. You
Yeah.
said it.
Is that
Yeah, you really
that's
do.
got to be hard.
It is, but I think I started from a very young age,
That's true. Yeah.
and I've always been very, very disciplined, self-disciplined, and I think people compliment me on that a lot, and I am, but I think it's always just been second nature to me to be like that, to
Mm.
take things seriously, to be disciplined, to take a trade or a craft seriously, and to also take the physicality of it, or taking care of your body side of it, or working out side of it seriously as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you have any injuries when you were dancing?
Yeah, well,
Like
I did
bad
have
ones?
injuries. I mean, my toes are pretty much like all messed up. My
Mm.
whole body. I mean, I'm young and I have back problems. And what's funny is
Mm.
I didn't really feel the pain that I endured in dance until I stopped. It was
Mm.
like, it was so go, 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 go. It wasn't until like I left New York, I stopped dancing, I stopped the strict schedule I was having every day. And then I was like, wait, what is this pain in my back? And it was like does that make sense? It's like when you when you stop like putting
Yeah.
yourself into the pain all the time, that you can feel it, like you rest. It's almost like if you've been on a really busy schedule and then you actually have downtime, then you get sick. It's your body just kind
Right.
of like I don't know what that is, but yeah. So yeah, I got some pain, but yeah, my feet
Gotcha.
are, yeah, no feeling there, but it's a kind of a blessing because I can wear any beautiful kind of pump or shoe, so that's good.
There
No
you
feeling in
go.
the feet. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. Wear the world's tallest stiletto and not feel it. Yep.
And you mentioned that nowadays you use dance to inform your acting.
Yeah.
How
Definitely.
so?
Well, I would say in a couple of different ways. There's the way in that it is literally a skill for me, and it opened up a lot of doors, just ever since I started saying I want to be an actor,
Mm.
which I can talk about. But and also in the way that I just feel like, I don't know, the way that I was in dance and approached life just has infiltrated into now my acting, which is kind of a blessing. I mean, just the way that I'm very strict with it, whether it's memorizing lines or just getting into a character, into the physicality, the voice, just all the physicality of it. And I just,
Mm.
people always point out like, oh, you got that from dance. And I'm like, I guess I just, I don't know. It's been so long. I don't even realize it, but sure. Okay. But yeah, I would say, when I came to LA and was pursuing acting, like all the parts I got were as a dancer. But I'm not
Mm.
complaining because, it was great. It was very clear that that was my skill, and it got me a lot of parts, like as soon as I was pursuing it. So yeah, it was cool.
It's for sure. Dancing is one of those skills that you see that, and it's like, oh, we got those. We
Is it?
can.
You tell me. You tell me.
Yeah, because well, like I was saying earlier, it me a like you have to have a certain physicality with it, but also you're more in tune with your body.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's a blessing and the curse, though. It really is. I mean,
Yeah.
because I would say in terms of like pet peeve, that would be my biggest about people. It's just like I feel as dancers, you're very aware of your space in so many
Right.
different ways.
Right.
And it's like you can just be in, I mean, I try to be patient and loving and, empathetic with people, but I'll just be in line and someone's like too close or not like paying attention to their posture. And I'm just like, yo, get out of my bubble. But really, it's just watching, relax, So yeah, it's like you're just hyper aware of physical
Right.
things, of your body and posture and blah blah blah. So
I mean, first of all, spatial awareness should be taught in school because I can't tell you how many times I'm just walking somebody on a phone looking at it or talking on it and they're just slowing me down. I'm like, look,
I think so.
if you're going to be talking, like go to the side, okay? Come on. There's
Uh,
other people.
that yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I'm glad you agree. Thank you.
Yes, I'm not a dancer, but I agree with spatial awareness.
Yeah, for sure.
You said that when you do traits, you take it seriously and you're very disciplined.
That's for sure.
I'm curious. Do you have
Yeah.
a hard time watching yourself act?
Yeah, for
Mm,
sure.
mm.
I mean, I always want to know, like, in terms of other actors, who doesn't? Like, who doesn't? Who's like, I love watching myself. Bring these dailies on. I'm going to watch myself all night long and not cringe. Yeah, I
Right.
do. I have to watch something. I mean, I have to watch something, which I don't do often, but a lot of
Hmm.
times to just be able to watch it and be looking for other things than just watching myself, which is a 0.1 percentage of a film or a project. It's
Right.
like, yeah, it's hard to do is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, definitely.
It's I'm not a professional actor, I would say, at all. But
You would say
uh,
you might be.
I would absolutely say I'm not a professional actor. But
Okay.
in the limited times I've acted,
Hmm.
I have no problem with disassociating myself from
Wow.
my body. Like, I'll look at that guy and I'm like, okay, we have the same face, yeah, whatever. But he's okay,
Mhm.
he's keeping up, he's doing okay.
Wait, you mean when you're watching yourself?
Yeah, when I'm watching a project
Wow.
that I did, yeah,
Can you teach me how to do that?
yeah,
Because wow,
okay.
that's amazing.
The weirdest thing was, so my buddy and I, we wrote a short together with
Okay.
plans on being in it together.
Uh-huh.
And just the entire time, I hate my voice, I hate my blah blah, I hate blah blah. I go,
Hmm.
dude, this is who you are.
Uh, yeah.
You live with yourself. You've been with yourself for over
Hmm.
25 years. You should be used to how you sound. Like, just get over it.
Hmm.
And I edit the podcast, so I'm used to how I
Yeah,
sound.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm like,
I think you have an un for lack of a better term, unfair advantage. I think
yeah,
because you are
100%.
so, yeah, yeah. I just think of all the times that I was editing something or I was working on a project where I was watching myself all the time. It did instill a certain level of comfort that like I carried into other areas of my life. So you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and then you've done some behind the scenes stuff as well, right?
I mean, I dabbled. I didn't really stick
Yeah.
with it. I wanted to. There was a point, yeah, I did a web series and it was cool because I was working on it. I was just teaching myself how to use a camera. And
Mm.
yeah, I mean, I was in acting school and our teacher was just, you know, like encouraging us to just experiment, just throw it out there, see what sticks. Like, don't have to do it, be so precious with it. So I did that and it was really fun to learn how to use a camera and edit and all
Yeah.
of that. And I would say one of the big advantages, I mean, I've always done well commercially, but just a lot of things when I was editing myself, which as actors, you don't normally do that. Um, when I was doing that and just watching my mannerisms, I just like, when I booked a ton of stuff in that time. If that,
Mm.
yeah. So there is a certain something that carries over that's cool.
Is there a need to do more of that? Maybe,
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah. Wait, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was
Go
just gonna
ahead.
say, write, direct. Like, just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What if I just said yeah and then stopped talking? Would you be annoyed?
No, I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Anyway,
You're like,
so
so what's your
about
favorite color?
about food. No,
Yeah. So I had a very short stint in college. I went
mhm,
to one semester of college and then I dropped out and then I went to a dance school instead.
gotcha.
Um, but my point is when I went to college, I did declare, and this was at the point that I thought I had to go to college. I didn't
Mm,
really, coming from a family where uh, that didn't really come from a family of artists, and the rules were you had to go to college, you had to do it this way. And so I went and I was like, okay, let me try to declare a creative major. And I said, I declared film studies. And I,
mm-hmm,
yeah, was, thought I wanted to be a director, but it was difficult because it wasn't a film school. It was a beautiful school. But they didn't really have a film department. Film was under the major of media studies. and you couldn't even rent out a camera until your senior year. And I was just
Mm.
like, what? There's no way I'm waiting 4 years to be able to do what I'm passionate about. So I've always been interested in that. But then I think as soon as the interest in acting took over, then I just was like, yes, I'm interested in directing, but that will just have to come later because I'm more passionate about acting right now.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, thanks.
Of course. I too am a college dropout, kind of.
Cool. I say
that. I was gonna do I was going to community college. I'm a community college dropout.
Okay.
And I was gonna be a history teacher. That was my goal.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Where did that even come from?
Because I loved history growing up, and I don't know. Ever since third grade, I wanted to be a teacher, and then I took history class, and I was just like, this is not what I want to do. So I ended up not going to class, staying in the cafeteria, writing horrible scripts. And,
that's so hilarious.
None of them were good. I don't even have any of them. That's how bad they were. But that's when
you were going to school for history, and in your downtime, and you were writing scripts. Were you even aware at that time, like, oh, this is probably what I really want to do? Were you aware, like, this is what I care?
It's not until I would stop going to class to chill in the cafeteria to write scripts.
Yeah, but you eventually obviously figured it out. I just think that's so funny. It's like so obvious, you know? I feel like it was, I mean, for me, it was so obvious. I wanted to be a dancer and pursue dance, but like going to a dance school and not going to college just like wasn't an option. But it's so silly. You know what I mean? It's like, obviously that's what you'd love and what you should do, or obviously what you're doing in the cafeteria is what you should do. I just feel very strongly about this. So I think it's funny. I think it's funny. You know?
Well, but I had a breakdown, and I was telling my parents, like, I can't go back to that school. I want to do something I want to do. And they said, what was that? And that's when I said I wanted to be in the film industry. And from there, I did go to a film school where I didn't have to wait, till I was a senior to check out a camera, not to rub it in.
Cool. I mean, I was off in so many ways, but it's almost, it was like meant to be that way to show me like, this is not where you should be. Nothing about this. These people were all in party mode and all like, I don't know, I'll declare my major eventually. And I was just like, I know exactly what I want to do. I want to do it now. I really don't care to party with the soccer team. And it was just a very clear divide. So it made it easy. You know what I mean? It made it very easy. So, yeah.
And one of the projects I got, I'm very curious on a project you worked on. It's it's near and dear to my heart. It's a little show called Greek.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! You did your digging. Oh my gosh!
I did my like. Whenever I see Greek, I'm just transported back to Chris, like hating the show because it's a bunch of people complaining in college, and I'm like, "What's up with that?"
Why all of a sudden I got like so sentimental about that? Like you said that the word Greek, and all of a sudden I'm like a pile of mush. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I think I do know. Like sometimes it takes a minute for me to articulate why I feel that way. But no. First, I want to know. So, what does it mean to you? Did you watch it when it was on?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Yeah, I was the guy watching it week to week. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Cool. Yeah. Aw. Okay.
But I first got into it by spite because I was just like, why are they complaining? They're about spirit sticks and stuff. And I'm like, what is this?
But, that's TV, man. That's just, you can break anything down and be like, why are you doing what the entire arc of the scene is about?
But then, towards the end, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe Franny just betrayed her best friend.
Oh my God, I know. And I was right there seeing it. And they were great actresses because, they were living it out. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but that was fun. I mean, that was fun because I'm not sure how many episodes I did, or how long I was on it, but it was fun for, like 5 different reasons. Okay. I say this a lot. I say, reel it in, Olivia. And it's difficult because I have one of my best friends, her name's Olivia, and every time I'm around her, She'll think I'm talking to her, but I'll be like, reel it in, Olivia. Just talking to myself.
My name's not Olivia, so go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So you'll got it. Great. Okay. But yeah, well, for one, I feel like I learned a lot on that show. Just, just like learning how everything was done,
Yeah.
like just, even though I had a small part, like I just, yeah, I from the crew to the cast to the verbiage to the TV verbiage to just everything across the board. It was like a really good training ground because I started working on that right when I came out here, and I was in an acting school that, it went to Playhouse West, and that school is great in that they don't really push the business side of acting, or they don't say, like, this is how you get an agent, which is it's great, but it's theater driven. It's great. They teach the craft, and it's the Meisner technique. It's amazing. But I went out and I had luck with agents as soon as I came out here and started working right away. And I got, my point is, I got to learn on set, even though it was a very small part and nobody knew who I was, while I was going to class, actually learning how to act, that I was applying to like more of my auditions, that for bigger parts I would get down the road. But I just was such a little deer with wide eyes, just like, just like such a sponge. And I was quiet, but like just taking it all in. So happy to be there, just to hear the actresses talk. I mean, they were all very sweet to me, but just to hear them talk between takes, to hear how to see what last looks were from makeup, to hear the director talk to the actors and give adjustments, just like anything under the sun that someone that doesn't know about acting might be interested in. So there was that. There was, it's funny, there were like, I met other girls down the road that or like later, a few years later, that also had small parts on that show, and we didn't even realize we were like doing it at the same time, that we're all, and so I just a lot of fun there, fun with wardrobe, because I was like played one of the pledges, and so we are always in like costumes to go into some party or like being hazed or like whatever it was. So I'm like got to wear like an Indian costume and just lots of crazy stuff. So yeah, fun. It feels like so long ago. It really was, but yeah.
Well, and so what, acting between then and now, what sort of things have you taken away? Like, because acting, you're always learning. You can always learn.
Yeah.
But what is your process for getting into character different from then to now?
Yeah, definitely. I would say how I would explain it is you kind of realize that no matter what technique you train in, no matter what you're taught, whether it's on set from an acting coach or for any specific role, the more parts you have, the more work you do, the more techniques you learn, the more books you read, the more life, you kind of realize you just form your own technique, if that makes sense. I mean, I don't think any kid or person to study the same technique as me or go to the same, I don't think any two people, even if they were the same year to go to Tisch, would say that they have the same technique, even if they had the exact same teachers and were in the exact same environment, because you have some roles where you're like, I can't really apply that part of the technique. And then you have some where you're like, I'm going to need to draw from another technique I learned. And so, and then auditions are like a whole nother realm of acting, and self-tapes are a whole nother area. So if acting is comprised of like when you're actually doing the craft, in the live theater, if it's like there are 10 different areas, then you're going to have to pull on, it depends how you look at it. Maybe it's one big technique and you're using different parts of it, but maybe you're kind of using different techniques or processes for every part. So there is no one be all end all, if that makes sense. So you kind of evolve and then you see what works for you. And that was a big thing that Robert Carnegie, the teacher of Playhouse West and the founder who I studied under, would teach us, that you have to constantly be present, constantly be evolving and growing and checking in with yourself as an artist, because what affected you last week, it's like, I'm sorry, the Jimmy that broke up with you last week, or the roommate that ate your food in the fridge and it really got under your skin a month ago. Like, hey, you might not care anymore. Like, you change relationships and religions and evolve as a person. You have to check in, like, what's lighting, who am I now? What lights my fire now? Because what I journaled about and worked for me on that set might not work for me on my next role, or even in the same role tomorrow, even if it's the same scene. It's crazy, you know. So, but it's fun, you know. It keeps you present. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And has there ever been a time where you had complications getting into a character?
Yeah, definitely.
Was that? Did you know I was going to ask that?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh, okay. You know what? You're reading my mind. You stop it. Stop it right now.
I'm not gonna stop it. I love it.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, there was one role, and sometimes it's just really simple, not to like. I mean, I don't know if you're expecting I don't know. I just, for instance, I remember there was one scene, and I had to be so happy. I was just accepted into to the dance school of my dreams, and I was trying to get there. And that's emotional preparation for actors, you know, whatever makes you get there, whether it's based in the script, whether it's substitution based in your personal life, whatever you're using, because different techniques for different days. What I had used for the previous takes wasn't working for me. We had a lunch break. Let's just say this is why a lot of actors, you should not have your phone on set. You should not have your phone a lot of the time when you're trying to be focused. You got to rule your mind in every day of your life, because I got some news that it wasn't making me happy. And what was working for me before we had lunch to get there was cool. We turned the scene around. It was like, for the camera angle, it was like this beautiful aerial shot. And they really just, you know, needed to do the same thing, but a different angle. And I was like really struggling to get there, trying to use what I was using just earlier that day. And I was like, I usually stay pretty, like, I work well under pressure, and I can realize, like, hey, this isn't working. You got to switch it up. Not like freak out, like, why isn't this working? But yeah, I know. But I almost wish I. And then I started crying, and then no,
I'm just so happy.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, wow, that's a different take from that one. Might not use it, but so yeah, it happens. I mean, yeah, it definitely happens. And I feel like it can happen, you know, when you're in class, emotionally preparing for a scene, and they teach you like it's okay. But when you're on set, the stakes just feel higher, because there's more money involved, and more people, you know, more crew. And
you have more eyes looking at you.
Yeah, well, I don't care so much about that. As I just know, like, the sun is going down. We really only have so many more takes. There are different actors involved. Like, empathy for the entire project. Like, you know, we want to do this scene well. Let's not let my difficulty getting there, like, hold up the whole day. You know, yeah. That makes sense.
No, that totally makes sense. Okay. I'm again, I'm not an actor, but I can cry on command. But I can do it like 2 times, and then I'm done.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. You got to pace yourself. I also learned that the hard way. It was actually on the same shoot. I was just going all out, and I think I was so excited to get there.
Yes, yeah.
And the DP, and if you know what's funny, DP is the director of photography, the cinematographer. And I remember on some shoots, I feel that I connect more with the DP than the director. Sometimes it just depends, you know, it'd be different. You know, everyone's different, and sometimes the director is able to, in a given scene, talk to you in the way that you need, and give you adjustments. And sometimes it's the DP, sometimes it can be the writer, you know. But I just remember it was the DP, and he really was trying to really explain well to me, like, you know, you should pace yourself. You're going to be doing this scene a lot. And I just feel like as actors, you know, we're so excited when we get there, and we feel like we're really hitting it. And then it's like, no, you can't be screaming at the top of your voice and crying so hard, and, you know, like, contain like, in terms of the physicality of it, like, got to pace yourself, you know, for all these takes. Like, that's great, you hit it, but can you hit it 50 more times like that? You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
and then not to mention, like, you're just exhausted at the end of the day. You gotta crash.
Totally. And I mean, if someone is not an actor, I guess they could equate it to if they were to maybe get in a fight with someone, cry really hard, just be really sad or down about something and have a good ball sesh. And that's draining. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
to back from, and that is what acting in one scene, that's probably a fifth of what acting in one scene can be like. So when you're doing so many takes, yeah, you gotta just rest in between. You really can't do anything
Yeah.
else. Forget going out or being crazy or partying. Like, no. Your body's already exhausted.
When you said fighting, I thought you meant like a physical fist fight. I was like, yeah, I
I've
would be
never
crying
been
during
in one
that.
of those,
Absolutely.
but have you gotten into fights in your time, Chris?
Well, I don't
I
want
never
to.
have. Okay.
You
I
can
was
tell
saying
by my
I was
voice I'm a
getting
scrapper. All right.
I love it. No, I was referring to
Right.
emotional warfare. Whether it's internal, no. Yeah, it's just exhausting. Like
Yeah.
you even back in the days of when you would go to class and do one scene, the class has 30 people in it, you have time to do one 10-minute scene. And it takes everything out of you because probably you give it even more of your all because you know that you're not going to be doing a scene for an hour straight.
Right.
But yeah, and you sit back down in your seat. I just remember these days when I first started and I was like, why do I feel like I need to lie down? Like it just takes everything out of you. Like the body doesn't lie. I mean, if you're really acting it, like, so yeah, gotta take care of yourself. No, for sure.
Hey. And do you have any projects coming up?
Yeah, I have this beautiful passion project called Anna coming
Mm.
out this year. And this was something I filmed it a long time ago. And um, it is just like the most beautiful script. It's written by Raphael Augustine, who is, he's a writer on Jane the Virgin. Well, even though
Hmm.
that show is happening, he was a writer on the most recent season of it. And he's an awesome, very talented writer. And it's a beautiful story. I got to play the title character in it. And I just can't wait to share this bad boy with the world. So,
There we
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. And you mentioned it earlier, uh,
Yeah.
earlier a long time ago today, during this chat. You said the word audition, and that if there's one thing I love on the podcast, it's a good audition horror story.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Cool,
And I'm
cool,
just
cool.
wondering, do you have one?
Yeah, I'm saying cool a lot to buy myself time to think of one.
Keep saying
Um,
cool. Just keep it. Yeah, no problem. I'll add some more cools if you want.
okay. I'm just gonna keep asking questions. Do you prefer it commercial? Otherwise, I just feel like commercials, there are a lot of, there, honestly, I feel that the horror stories, and I'm just thinking out loud right now to remember one specifically, but I
Yeah.
think that they're more, they're more traumatizing because they're more ridiculous. They're more physical. They're more improvised. With they're more wacky. They're more pantomime, and you just feel so dumb. But that's what they need to imagine when. Gosh, and there are just so many, Chris. I'm like, I want a good story for you, but I don't know. I think, and also one might come to me in 2 minutes, but
That's fine.
I'm thinking,
We could sit here in silence if you want.
well, I would prefer to say cool for 2 minutes straight.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Cool, 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 cool. But theatrically, so film and television, I feel that, I don't know, I'm never too, I just, I'm never too thrown off. I don't know if I've really had a horrific, honestly, maybe I should knock on some wood right now, but
I hope I didn't jinx you.
yeah, I always feel like I've been told that if you get direction, if the casting wants to or director wants to take time with you to say, please do it another way, or instead of just like, bye, thanks, see ya, let's bring on the next girl, and spend 5 minutes with you to say like, hey, can you add this nuance,
Yeah.
slightly different, pretend we're in a car, bring it down, talk to me like we're sisters, or hey, can you really go for it? And if they're taking the time for those subtleties, then I'm like, they want like working with me. They want to see how I take direction. And I just take all of that as a compliment. I mean, I do. And they bring you in again. And so theatrically, in my head, I think if they have me do it more than once, if they have me do it more than twice, if they give me direction, if they say, let's flip it, I'm just like, my job is done. I'm either right for this or not. I'm pretty confident. I'm always very well prepared. I'm off book even if they don't want me to be. And so I'm like, I like that. But I would say it's in the commercial world that it's just, and the dance world where it's just so wacky and there's more of a chance you're literally going to fall on your face. Yeah, like, or like I went out for like a Gap campaign and I have a tap dance background. And then I came in with tap shoes and like I had already put myself on tape. They loved me. They brought me in. And then they're like, okay, so now it's going to be hip hop. And I'm like, wait. I get it. I do. I worked in casting before. So like, I get it. The direction can change from a campaign. 2 seconds before the client can say, oh shoot, we need this. We need anything under the sun can change. You have to be prepared for that. But in my head, I'm laughing like, you don't know what you want. Like, which a lot of the times they're like, please actor, show me what I want. And I get that and I don't take it personally, but so I don't really have a horror story. I feel like I have a lot of friends in the industry, so I hear a lot of theirs, but that people at casting is just mean and talks about them and is rude in front of them. But thank God I have. Well, I mean, if it is, I'm fine with it. But haven't really had that.
So. I think it's also because that you mentioned it. Yeah, you're prepared.
I am.
Yeah, I think that's part of the that's part of the problem. So the next film or project you go into, don't even read the script, and let's see what happens.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And bring your tap shoes.
That I'm like, it's like you just said something like horrible. I'm like, and bring my tap shoes.
Bring your tap shoes. We'll see what happens.
And then I'll call you and tell you how it goes. Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
I don't want you to do that. I want you to get more work. Okay.
Okay.
If not for you, for me. Okay.
Okay. Sure. Cool. Cool. Yeah.
For the people at home who would like to keep up with you on the soch, that's code for social media. Where can they do all that?
I think across the board, I'm just Olivia Dudek _ on IG, and otherwise it's just Olivia Dudek, like dude with a K on the end. So DUDK. Yeah.
There we go. Olivia, I have to thank you for such a wonderful chat. First off. And then second of all, please come back anytime you want.
I would love to.
Your open invitation, and also, again, don't prepare for your next audition wear tap shoes.
Okay, that's definitely not. Okay,
thank you.
Just gonna rip
when is your next
sides up and throw my next audition?
Yeah, when is that?
Well, I just was thinking how I had a great one this morning. And, if they call me back, I'll just totally come in as a completely different person. I'll be like, Olivia, you saw that the other day?
She's
gone.
Here's the real Olivia.
I'll be a hot mess. And then I'll just see their response. And then it'll be, so I can tell you about it. Yep.
Okay. I would appreciate that for me, not for you, for me.
It's gonna happen, Why not? Yeah, not a lot of work. I don't need any more. I'm done. I'm done. I just need a funny story.
You had a good run. You're good.
Yeah.
But seriously, come back anytime you want. But I feel like I should let you go. I don't know. Do things Olivia would do?
Say one more time.
I feel like I should let you go do things that Olivia would do.
Okay.
I don't know why I said your name. I don't know.
Well, I want to let you do things that Chris would do. So, we will reconvene.
There we go. But have a wonderful rest of your day, okay?
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. Bye.